Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your reading. Today, we're going to be taking a sneak peek into 2025. We're going to be looking at the blessings coming through for you this year. We're also going to be looking at the overall themes and energies that you're going to be working with and what it is that you do not see coming. To begin this reading, I channeled some words. And so I'm just going to go over those words with you first, see what you feel, see what you read into them, perhaps see if any words or visions or images or impressions come up when you hear me reading these words to you. Use this entire reading, Spirit saying, as a springboard to enhance your own intuition and to assist you in coming through with your own downloads and understandings. I feel as though that's going to be a big theme for you moving through this year, Virgo. It's that energy of you tapping into your own intuition, you recognizing yourself as the oracle, and really learning how it is that you can begin to unlock and activate more of your own personal spiritual gifts. So the words that came through for you were eagle or hawk. So it was some type of big bird with one of those big wingspans. I'm also feeling could be an owl. I know all three of those birds have held specific meaning to me. The owl is really my most recent, the owl and the bald eagle. So it could be any of those big, impressive birds of prey. And feather, which is really in alignment with that energy there. I also just saw, for some reason, I want to say both robins and like blue jays or some type of cute little blue bird. So birds in general could be a big energy and a big theme. And birds are, of course, messengers. They also can relate to messengers from spirit and also people who have passed on and are sort of coming back to connect with us. So you may have those themes as well if you have somebody has transitioned in your life, or even I'm feeling that energy of transitions for you in general, but it's not just people who've passed on or transitioned from the physical into another type of experience as a soul, right? Which is another way of saying died, but like a nicer way, I guess you could say. But this is also transitions in terms of you and aspects of yourself or your ego identity, which are dying and being reborn. This is transitions from jobs. This is transitions from ways of being, ways of seeing, perceiving the world. There's just a lot of powerful transition and shifts that I'm feeling you going through as we're moving through 2025. Very plutonic energies for my Virgos that I feel that we're going to be experiencing. And I say we because I have a Virgo moon. So Virgo is an energy that I am very in tune with as well. You can look at these for your moon sign, your sun sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign. Honestly, any of these readings that you're particularly drawn to, just know that there could be messages in here for you. And even if you're finding this in July, there's still energy that's probably going to resonate. So go ahead and watch it no matter when you're finding it. And if you are finding this video at the beginning of 2025, go ahead and save it so that you can look back on it and see how these energies are developing. So we have that energy of transition, that scorpionic, that plutonic energy that's coming through very strongly, as well as connecting with your own inner oracle, your own inner shaman. Shaman was actually one of the words that came through. And we had a lot of other words that really are reminiscent of that shamanic energy, like drum came through, smoke, snake, and I'm also feeling the rattle as we're talking about this. And it is also the year of the snake in 2025. So that energy of the snake is a big theme that we're working through collectively. And I feel you, and I think it's because of all the transitional energy that we talked about. It's a 9-year in 2025 as well, which is a year of endings and new beginnings. So a lot of that powerful transitional energy, I feel you really burning within the fires of that, Virgo. We also have the South Node entering your sign this year. And so there's going to be a lot of releasing when it comes to whatever area of your chart you have your sun or whatever planets called you to this reading, Virgo. That Virgo area of your chart, there's going to be a lot of releasing and unwinding energies there. And a lot of, I'm feeling like letting go of the perfectionism, letting go of, it's like allowing yourself to surrender. There's going to be a big need for my Virgos of surrendering control with the South Node in your sign and moving toward that Pisces energy. that Neptune energy of dissolving and releasing the ego. So yeah, it's going to be powerful, but this is also with that South Node. This is where we're reclaiming things as well. It's not just about releasing and letting go. It's about our past life gifts and abilities and really bringing those through, bringing those online. So it's all starting to make sense, right? As we talk about the astrology too, where some of these themes and energies are coming from here. I also got the arc and the spiral, and the arc. The word rain came through as well. So part of it, I was wondering if this had to do with like Noah's Ark and that type of ark. But it also felt like this is more like the arc because the word spiral came afterward. So sort of the way you guys know what I'm trying to talk about here. It's kind of like a shape or a movement, the arc in motion or movement. And I'm not sure what else that means, but feel into that. See if you got any downloads or visuals when I said that word. Also, the bullseye came through with the arc, the spiral, and the bullseye. And then we had fire, we had the sun, we had a field, we had home and harvest, and also the word rake and heart. So lots of interesting words and lots of different imagery. The rain felt very purifying. It felt very cleansing when that came through. And you'll have to excuse me, I quit smoking recently once more for the final time, and I chew a decent amount of gum. So if that bothers you moving through this reading, if I decide to chew another piece, then this simply may not be the reading for you. I don't know if I will or not. Actually, I probably won't because it's across the room and I'm not going to get up. So maybe that's a message. Everything's a message, right, in these readings. So maybe that's a message for some of you too. If you're trying to overcome addictive tendencies or like negative patterns that are difficult to break, just put whatever it is that you usually reach for that's not good for you a little bit further out of reach. I'm not necessarily saying the gum's not good for me. It's a lot better than what I'm using to replace it with, right? But still, it's that analogy, that energy. Also just could be that energy of something feeling just out of reach. I'm feeling that too, like that might be a theme or an energy that you guys have been working with. And I feel like that's something that's carried through from 2024. Feeling like you've been working so hard, like you've been working and moving towards something, but it's just out of reach. So we're going to see if that comes up as we get into the cards here for my beautiful Virgos. And let's see what deck I want to pull from for you first. Ooh, we're going to use my new deck, the Tarot of the Sacred Kingdoms. And I'm feeling the Osho Zen as well here. And I do apologize. I only have so much space. This is one of my upgrades that I need to be getting for the new year with my recording equipment. So you guys are on the laptop. It's a little bit slower. It doesn't quite keep up with the energy, but it does the best it can. And that can be a message in and of itself right there, right? All right, clear. We're going to start with the Osho Zen, then we're going to move into the Tarot of the Sacred Kingdoms. So tell me about some general themes and energies that Virgo is experiencing in 2025. What are some general themes and energies that Virgo is going to be experiencing or working with here? All right, we have the inner voice, the intuition. All right, this is the High Priestess energy. This is what we're talking about with you becoming the High Priestess. This is the secrets. Oh, this is interesting too. And creativity. But I'm feeling this energy with you, Virgo, too, of being the keeper of the secrets. So you may be somebody that people generally feel comfortable confiding in, sort of like that energy of like you're a vault. People know if they tell you something, it's not going to get out to a million different people. You're going to really honor that. So you may be acquiring some secrets. People may be confiding in you even more in 2025. And I feel like for some of you, that's going to be a bit frustrating because this is my energy too. And I am the keeper of the secrets for many people because honestly, like I'm so scatterbrained with certain things. I forget half the things people say to me anyway. So like people can confide their deepest, darkest secrets and I might remember like a third of the conversation. Somebody here might be able to relate to that too. But I know what this energy is like, being the one that knows all the things but can't say all the things. And so this, I'm feeling there's going to be a situation maybe for some of my Virgos where you know something. It's like, say for the example that and this doesn't need to be the exact situation. This is just the example that's coming through. It's like you have two friends who are dating each other. One of them ends up stepping out of the relationship, which is not a condition that they agreed to within the relationship. And you know about it. And then you're like, well, what do I do? Right? Where does my loyalty lie? Do I tell the other person what's going on? Or do I keep this quiet? Do I keep this to myself? They might even tell you what they've done. Like, you might not catch them. They might just confide in you. And then you're like, well, what do I do? It's like, I feel like there's going to be lots of little situations like that coming up for you in 2025, Virgo. And part of the reason for this is it's helping you understand your own morals and values. It's helping you stand in your own integrity, and it's helping you make these tough calls and these tough decisions that are preparing you for the role that you're going to be taking up as we continue to move forward in the energy. Like we said, this channel is for the way showers. This channel is for the future leaders and visionaries, spiritually speaking, as we move into this new energy, as we move into the age of Aquarius, as we move into this golden era of humanity. And so we have to get put through our paces, right? We have to understand our power. We have to understand how to wield it responsibly. We have to understand how to be in our integrity. And so on all of these little challenges and these little situations are helping to push us into that. So like, you'll have to figure out how to navigate these. And like that, like we said, that example is just one of many areas where you may find this energy coming up, where you become aware of somebody who is being dishonest or something that is happening. And then it's like, okay, so what is my role in this situation? What am I supposed to do? Even when it comes to helping people, like, all right, how far am I supposed to go to be of assistance to somebody else? When does it become enabling them? When does it become doing the work for them? When does it become just like unbalanced in the energy, right? Where I'm giving too much and I'm not receiving enough. And like, where is it that I'm coming from that place of selfless service? And where is it that selfless service is in and of itself not really helping anymore? You know what I mean? I think you do, whoever this is for. I've been dealing with a lot of these themes in my own life. So like if you know, right? But this is all helping you build your own integrity, your own sense of your own moral compass. And that's what's going to guide you for moving forward. It's not meant to be anybody else's, right? This is Age of Aquarius energy here. It's meant to be yours. What is your moral compass? What is right for you? That is really ultimately always the question and always the answer, right? So with the inner voice, so we also had creativity. So the High Priestess and the Empress here. And this is really beautiful because I feel like you're going to be in a really fertile creative period, Virgo. There's going to be a lot of inspiration coming through, and Spirit is saying take that inspiration and bring it into form. If you're somebody who's sat on a lot of your inspiration and hasn't done much with it, it's time to start doing something with it. For somebody, I feel like you're going to be called to start writing a book. However it is that you're being called to express yourself creatively, it's really important that you do that. It's really important that you, even if you just start, say you don't start by writing a book, but you just start by writing down the inspirations coming through, writing down they could come through in little snippets like poetry, or just little thoughts, or even questions I'm feeling for somebody, like these philosophical questions that just pop into your mind throughout the day. Start writing them down. And then when you get a little bit of alone time, you get a little bit of downtime, start writing them out. Like say a question pops into your head, right? That would make a really interesting philosophical conversation. You don't have time to have a conversation with anyone about it. You're not even meant to. Write down the question. And then later when you have a little bit of downtime, write it down again and answer it. And just write it out and see where that energy goes. See where it flows. It actually reminds me, so somebody told me, I never actually read the book, but they told me about a book called Conversations with God, which was similar, where they were just writing questions and God was answering through them. I think that's how it was anyway. That's kind of reminded me of this a little bit. It's sort of like your higher self puts the question out there to you, and then you get to sort of channel the response later. So just play around with this. However, these energies, a lot of my Virgos, you're mercurial, right? Mercury is the ruler of your sign, Mercury, and then Chiron more modernly, I do believe. So there's this energy here of like you are very mental. So utilize that mental energy. A lot of you may be creative in those ways, speaking, writing predominantly. But anyway, any way that you're being guided to create, to put this inspiration to form, because this is meant to be a very beautiful, fertile, creative year for you, Virgo. Also with the 8 on the bottom, the letting go energy, it's meant to be a year of releasing and letting go. That's part of the transitions. That's part of the transformation that's coming through here. Really connecting with your divine feminine as well, I'm feeling. Go. All right. We're going to get some Tarot of the Sacred Dreams here. We continue major themes. Any of you who are also into tarot, reading tarot, who might collect decks, this deck is clear, so gorgeous. I think this is the most beautiful tarot deck. It's definitely the most beautiful tarot deck I've ever owned. All right, more major themes and energies for Virgo for 2025. And beyond, as we like to say, but really trying to focus and hone in here on 2025. What does Virgo need to know, Spirit? Any more themes or energies? It's all training. That's what Spirit just said. It's all training. It's all training, preparing you not only for what you asked for, but what you're destined for. What your soul asked for before you got here. So remember that, and take everything that you do, be mindful about it. Find the lessons in everything. That doesn't mean like you have to sit and like drive yourself crazy with this, all right? But find the lessons in everything and pay attention to what's going on here, all right? Because like I said, everything that is happening is preparing you for what you asked for and what your soul asked for. It's preparing you to continue and really start solidly walking down the path of your Dharma, which is a big part of 2025, right? Aligning with our destiny. Nothing is happening by accident. Nothing is happening by coincidence, by chance. Everything we know, right? We know everything is interconnected. But this is like, it's almost like that energy of nothing being by mistake. And of the just what I'm trying to communicate to you right now. Just, it's amplified right now. There is no thing, and you are a sign who is really great, the best sign, you and Scorpio, at focusing on the little details, the fine print, right? Everything right now, the little details matter. All right, we got the Chariot here. That's my favorite card in this deck. Got the Ten of Swords. And the Knight of Wands. Interesting. So we got the lion and the tiger here. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. And we got Justice on the bottom of the deck. Remember, we may battle a lot or feel as though we're battling a lot within our lives, but really the only thing that we're battling is ourselves. It's our own minds. I feel like the wisdom and the understanding of that is truly crystallizing for you this year, Virgo. There's this energy of moving forward. And with these two cards here, all right, walking as though you have a lion at your back. And not in the sense of like fearful. You know what I mean? Like not in the sense of like you're being chased by a lion, but rather you have this protector, this tiger, this lion behind you. So this could represent your spiritual team. This could represent the energy of your soul, right? It's like that big dick energy. You're walking into 2025 with that big dick energy. And if you're not starting out with it, you will. This is what you are cultivating this year. Knowing that you are protected. Knowing that you are strong. The cats, the big cats, when it comes to nature, they are the ultimate apex predator. I mean, I guess humans would ultimately be, because of all the shit that we can design and all of that. But like when you're just looking at outside of humans, right? Nature. The big cats, they are nature's perfect predator on land, of course. Right? The precision, the agility, the sheer size. So see yourself as that apex predator in the most high vibrational way, of course. There's this energy here with the Ten of Swords. But it feels like she's rising up from the waters here. She's been underwater. And this is how you may have felt. But in that process of being underwater, that process of drowning, that's like the death and rebirth that we've been talking about. Finding the light in the depths of the darkness. Finding the strength. There's an Atlantean vibes coming through here too. I just did actually. And I think I'm going to post it on the minis page. I have a Dark Side of the Moon minis channel now where I repost like TikTok videos and stuff that I do, just short little readings, little snippets. And so I think that's where it's going to be. And it's going to be on TikTok if any of you follow me on TikTok as well. I started doing a reading for TikTok and it ended up being this crazy Atlantean past life reading. Some of you might want to check that out. But I'm definitely getting strong Atlantis vibes here as well. But it's about the struggle, whatever you thought was going to break you, whatever was drowning you, whether this is your own emotions, your own mental energy, right? And the emotions that mental masturbation, that mental wheel generated for you, whether it was certain situations, whatever it was, wherever, however, whyever you felt like you were drowning, that energy that you thought was going to be the death of you is your resurrection. That's what Spirit wants you to know and understand. And then we have the Justice here, right? And that was actually upside down on the bottom of the deck with the Ace of Swords upright underneath it. So this is more clarity. You're going to be getting more clarity this year as well around karmic themes and situations, around your part in themes and situations. Around how to take ownership of your own energy and the power that comes from being able to do that. When we're no longer the victim to anybody else's bullshit, including our own, right? That's the biggest one right there. Remember, my mind is the only thing that I'm truly at war with. When I am no longer at war with my own mind, I have peace in my world. I have peace in my heart. The only way the enemy can get at me, right, is right here. Because this is the only enemy that really exists until it's not, until we alchemize that energy, until we make the mind our friend. This is the Chariot card, but it reminds me of the Strength card in most tarot decks, right, which is all about the taming, the mastery of the mind. The lion in the Strength card represents the beast that is the mind. All right, and the traditional card, she's petting the lion, right? She has tamed the lion. So it's like getting that clarity, understanding your part in situations, understanding karmic cycles, and having the ability from that understanding and that willingness to take ownership of that, to be able to transcend that, to be able to move forward. Letting go of the need to be right. Remember that old saying, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? We can be both sometimes, but we can know within our hearts that we're right? And I use it like that because it's all really perspective. But we can know within our hearts that we're right. But we don't necessarily need everybody else to know it. We don't have to prove it to everybody else. All right, that's all ego when we're trying. Honestly, even like the need to be right in a situation and to delineate and assign right and wrong and blame and stuff like that. That's all ego anyway, right? But even more so, it's like these are all the reason this is coming up is Spirit saying like what I was going to say about this doesn't even matter. This is the whole point, is like you're going to start really, and you've been understanding this stuff on a mental level for a long time, but it's really going to start integrating into the heart where you're really feeling it and you're noticing where you end up in these egoic games within your own mind, within your own being, and you're like, I'm not playing into that anymore. Not with you, not with them, not with myself. Right? It's all ego, but it's instead of like being aggressive and making the ego an enemy too, it's just laughing at it and loving it and being like, oh, you're so cute, right? This is beautiful. There's a lot of freedom here. It's a lot of freedom that I'm feeling once you're ready to surrender and let go. Two of Pentacles, look at what he's creating. This is the energy that you're putting out into the world. Virgo, this year in 2025, you're going to start becoming really aware of the energy that you put into the world through your thoughts, through your words. And yes, of course, your actions, but your thoughts and your words is going to be a big shift in this energy where you really begin to understand that and you start to play with that energy much more. I always wanted to say properly or concisely, much more like deliberately, I guess we could say. We got the Page of Swords. This card always represents, it reminds me of the Akashic Records because I see them, or I used to see them. Now that I've been working with this book, and I recommend this all the time to people because it's such a powerful book. It's called A Radical Approach to the Akashic Records. I'll say that again because I was like stuttering while I was trying to say it. A Radical Approach to the Akashic Records. It's Melissa Fike. Feick, I believe is how she spells her last name. Incredible book. So now as I'm accessing the Akashic Records on the quantum field, it's more just an energy. I don't really see anything. But I used to visualize the Akashic Records looking like this, like just a giant library. So there's this energy of really utilizing your thoughts and your words and the energy of your mind. The Page of Swords here is really just emphasizing that this is all about your mind energy, learning how to work with it constructively. And I'm not saying it's going to be all smooth sailing moving through 2025. This is a year where you start coming into mastery around this, but there's going to be some challenges along the way. There's going to be moments where you realize, oh, fuck, I did that again. Oh, I was thinking that again. Oh, I fell into ego again. And look what happened. Now I got to clean up this mess. Now I got to clean up this mess. Now I got to clean up this mess. You know what? But you're going to do it. You're going to show up and you're going to do it. You're going to take care of it. You're going to take care of business and continue moving forward from there instead of being hard on yourself, instead of that the self-deprecation that comes with that perfectionistic energy sometimes when we have really high expectations of ourselves and then we don't meet those expectations. But it's like moving out of that energy too. For some of you too, with the self-deprecating, Spirit really wanted to focus on that because it's like talking to yourself, the way you talk to yourself, that's part of this energy too. It's the self-talk, moving into more positive self-talk. Affirmations, subliminals, this is stuff that I'm really getting into. The only thing that I will say about this is if you are using subliminals, make sure you know where they are coming from. Do not just find random subliminals online anywhere. Make sure they're coming from a trusted source that you truly resonate with on a heart level, on a soul level. Because you don't want to just allow any random YouTuber that's uploaded a video of subliminals to download things into your unconscious mind. All right. You do not give anybody the keys to the castle, so to speak. The castle is your subconscious mind. That's where everything emanates from. Just like we don't allow people to rewrite our DNA or activate our DNA. Yes, I hold ceremonies sometimes and I open up sacred space to allow people's own higher selves to do that and the energies to naturally do that. But I don't claim that I'm doing that to anyone. I'm not messing around in your DNA. You know what I mean? Don't let people do that. Do not let people program your subconscious mind. Do not let people hypnotize you unless you really trust them. All right? I practice aura hypnosis healing. I do not let just anybody hypnotize me. All right? There's a very select handful of practitioners that have I have done auras with, received the hypnosis from. All right? You want to get really protective of, like I said, the keys to the castle. The keys to the kingdom. All right, we got the Three of Swords here. So yeah, there's going to be some pain. There's going to be some sadness. Like there's going to be, this is a year of letting go as well. And some of this is going to be painful, the things that you're going to be asked to release. But it's going to be worth it. Yeah, it's going to be, there's going to be, it feels not really like a crazy roller coaster because you're coming into this better sense of mastery of your mind, but it definitely feels like there's going to be some ups and downs along this journey here. There's going to be some moments of loneliness, of isolation, a lot of internal work, a lot of meditation, a lot of going within, right? Your card is represented by the Hermit. That is not an accident. Definitely some of that energy. But it's like even your heartbreaks, even those moments where you have to let go and surrender, you're going to notice that it comes more easily and it's not as painful as it used to be. For some of you, there's going to be one thing in particular that you've been avoiding letting go of. And that thing that you've been clinging on to, that's the thing that's going to have to be let go in 2025. And if that message was for you, you know exactly what I'm talking to because you already, as soon as I said that, you felt your heart sink or you felt that brick, that heaviness in your stomach, and you immediately thought, fuck. Because you've known it's coming. You thought you could hold on a little bit longer, and Spirit's saying, it's time, honey, it's time. It's like Spirit showing me somebody who's trying to swim and they've got all these bricks tied to their ankles. And you've let go of almost every single one of those bricks. It's no coincidence that this is the card on the bottom of the deck again. I put it back in. I started reshuffling the deck. But you have not let go of that one weight, and it has kept you from being able to reach the surface. As soon as you let that go, you bob right to the surface. And I love this. This is beautiful too. We got the Page of Cups here. Once more with the creations. Nurturing. I feel this is a very nurturing year for you. Nurturing your own children. Nurturing your inner child. Nurturing the creativity that lives within you. For some of my Virgos, I feel like this year, it's like a childhood dream is coming back to the surface. Something that you loved. Something that really lit you up as a child. You're getting back into again. For some of you, this could be the writing. I know for me, that was a big thing for me as a child. It could be literally this child, I think, is playing the piano. So it could be an instrument. Could just be some lost dream that's reawakening. Or just some really beautiful inner child healing that is happening through allowing yourself to play, allowing yourself to create, allowing yourself to do the things that for some of you, it's like somebody told you you weren't good at, or somebody told you weren't practical or weren't appropriate. A part of you that you pushed away, that you hid because somebody told you it wasn't okay to express that part of you. That part is coming back to the surface and you're embracing it this time. And no matter who else might judge it, you're embracing it is what heals that part of you and really opens up a whole new wellspring of this creative energy for you. And there we go. There's that Strength card on the bottom of the deck right there. Look at that. That is the wisdom. That is your spiritual light, your wisdom, your spiritual power that you are reclaiming because you have reclaimed your mind. You've reclaimed these parts of yourself that were once abandoned, that you allowed others to convince you to abandon. And once you do that, it's on from there. We're not going to keep we're going to get into blessings here, but we got the 2 of Cups and the 6 of Wands here. So this is love. This is victory when it comes to love and relationships. So I think we're actually going to read into that to start out the blessings, what blessings you have coming in for you. That feels like a really good place to start. Clear. And we're going to keep going with this deck for a minute when it comes to the blessings. Reading more into these blessings, reading more into this 2 of Cups energy here. I'm feeling for some of my Virgos, this blessing is like a love or a connection that you've been, for lack of a better word, chasing for quite some time, that you've been desiring, that you've been working toward, I guess is a better way to put it than chasing. Because I don't feel like you've been chasing. I feel like maybe you were at one time, but then you relaxed into it, right? Which is how things always come into our reality when we stop chasing and we simply attract, we simply become the vibration of. And so that's what you've done here. You become the vibration of this love. And for some of you, this doesn't just mean romantic love. This could be soul tribe, calling in soul tribe, calling in these kinships, these connections. For some of you, though, I definitely am feeling that this is love. This is the energy of whether this is like the one that got away, or this is just the one that never quite was. Or for some of you, it's like you've never even met this person. You've just felt them on a soul level for a really long time, and now you're calling them into your physical reality. For some of you too, if you've just been desiring a child for a long time, this could also be a child manifesting into your reality. And for some of you, I feel like that child is going to come through marriage or through a partnership, not necessarily through you physically birthing a child. For some it could, right? But for some, there's something with that. Maybe this person that you have your heart set on, perhaps they have a child already. Then we have the Hanged Man here with the Ace of Pentacles. Ooh. So that's a beautiful blessing as well. This is a powerful shift in perspective that brings through some type of financial abundance. And this, isn't it interesting, this Hanged Man card? The man's not hanging, but he's sitting in this wise tree. I wanted to call it an oak tree, but I want to call all trees oak trees. So don't read too much into that necessarily. But it's this energy of the tree really connecting with nature, connecting with his own wisdom, receiving this shift of perspective. It's like the final shift that needed to happen in order to bring through this change in your material world, this change that you've been working on for quite some time. So for some people, you know, I said that this had to do with like a love or a soulmate calling them into your reality, right? For some people, this is just anything that you've been working to call into your physical manifested reality. Finally experiencing the internal shift, the energetic shift that was necessary in order to bring that through. So that's really powerful. Yeah, you guys are becoming the master manifestor this year. Look what's on the bottom of the deck. The Magician. Right as I said, the master manifestor. All right, you can't make this shit up. You are harnessing. See the light here in both of these? You are harnessing your spiritual light, your spiritual power, your mind power, right? And you are creating powerfully from that. You're creating something really beautiful here. And this has been for some of you a long time in the making. Spirit has been cultivating and crafting you into who and what you needed to become in order for this to fully come to fruition. And for some of you, where I said with that love energy too, it's like the one who got away. That's the energy of like you were not in the vibration when you knew this person before. You or they both. It wasn't able to be aligned now. But now it is. Because of the work, because of the shifts and the changes that you've undergone. I love how the sun just came back out as I said that. All right. Whatever it was, if you feel like There's some, like, whatever it is that you've been working towards that has not manifested or has not been able to stick in your external reality. It's because you were not the match for it yet. You hadn't mastered up here, and here, the frequency, the energy, and the output. If you can think of your overall frequency, and you think of your heart and your mind, and how their energies, the energies that they're generating, are combining to generate your overall frequency. So it's kind of like they were just out of tune just a little bit with each other and just in general. And as those, it's sort of like tuning your instrument, right? Ooh, that's a big one. That's big for my Virgos. You're tuning your instrument. And this is the year where that finally comes into tune. And once that happens, it's like, it's on. All right? We have the Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck here. And then I cut the deck to the Fool. Ooh, and then the High Priestess. I've never seen the High Priestess in this deck. This deck is so beautiful, you guys. Look at this. And under that we have the Lovers. Very like what's that show? The Witcher, I think it's called. This is reminding me of this deck. Yeah. Secrets revealed around love too, around partnership, soulmates, twin flames, stuff like that. Getting a deeper understanding of those energies for any of you who felt like you've been on a twin flame journey. Really getting more of the pieces of that puzzle, really understanding that journey for you. And the uniqueness of that journey, because Spirit's saying like, the whole twin flame idea is such a homogenized term at this point that we think that it's supposed to be this cookie cutter, like this is how this journey goes. Everybody who is on a twin flame journey, just like any journey, it's going to be different for every single person who's having that journey. And part of the reason why, if that resonates with you, that energy, that label, part of the reason that you may not have understood your own journey was because you were trying to compare it to everybody else's. So Spirit's saying, stop doing that. I just saw like a interesting ray of light come through my window up above there, right when I said that. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of mystery being revealed around your connections, around your soulmates and partnerships this year. A lot of fated meetings, fated connections or reconnections. You're going to know who's meant to be in your life as far as that energy is concerned, because you're going to bump into them. You're not going to have to do anything to initiate this. It's going to happen naturally. They're going to be brought back into your life through circumstances that seem outside of your control. That's how you're going to know everything that's meant for you this year, Virgo, because it's going to come in. You are mastering that mind. You're mastering your vibration. You're becoming that point of attraction. And so everything is just going to be drawn in. You're not going to have to do anything except follow your divine inspiration. And you're going to be becoming more and more clear of what that divine inspiration is for you personally, like how that's communicated, how you pick up on that, how you sense that, how you feel that, and then how you act upon that. All right. And with this, it's like you're overcoming deceptions as well. I loved it because I was just starting to think about the third part of this reading, what you don't see coming, and that Spirit's guided me right into that. So with what you don't see coming this year, it's going to be somebody trying to lead you astray. Somebody trying to lead you astray, somebody trying to take advantage of your energy. It's almost like somebody feels and senses your energy opening up, that you're getting ready to go to this next level, and they want to ride the coattails, or they want to come with you, or they want to get a piece of that action somehow. Or for some of you, it's like they honestly just want to kind of like drive you astray. And it may not even be necessarily malevolently. It's just like they don't want you to move too far away from them, because they know that once you do, they're not going to be able to access your energy the same way, if at all. And so they're trying to keep you. This is the same story. We're seeing this play out in the larger world as well, right? As the cabal, as these darker energies and entities are losing control, right? As the false matrix is crumbling. And so they're doing everything in their power, using every distraction they can think of, every emergency, right? Every type of, and we're seeing all of it fail, right? It's like we're kind of watching it, but we're not on that timeline anymore. So it's not pulling everyone in. Some people, the people who are still aligned with that lower dimension and energy, might be freaking out, right? As they're trying to create all of these catastrophes and bring people back into that fear mentality, that fear energy, right? But the majority of people are just like not really consenting to it. So it's not, they're not going to be able to pull us into those lower timelines, but they're trying because they don't want us to evolve out. They see that this is the end. This is like, if they don't break us back in now, they're not going to be able to get us back. And it's the same with these people in your individual life. They see that and they're like, oh no, if I don't grab him, if I don't grab her, they're literally like gonna float away. They're not gonna, it's like, they may not realize that they're sensing that you're not gonna be a part of their reality anymore. Like they're not gonna be able to see you. They're not gonna be able to sense you because the vibrations are gonna be so different. Even if they interact with you, like even say you have kids together or something like that, it's still like they'll be able to see you in that sense, right? But at the same time, they won't. And I don't know how to explain how that's going to work, except it just is. So I don't know. But it's like they're sensing this, they're feeling this, and they're like, oh, shit. So they're trying to pull you back, right? And so they may use deception. They may use lies. They may use ways of twisting the truth, manipulation. Definitely manipulation. They may try to convince you of something that is not your truth. And this isn't going to be the first time they've done this. And this is what you're going to recognize, is that whoever this is for and whoever this person is, or people, but I feel it's more strongly like a specific person for the certain people that this is going to resonate for. You're going to recognize how they've done this to you before, but this time you're not falling into that energy. You're not falling into that cycle. And this is also just making sure that you stay tight with your discernment in general. So overall, you're not falling into any more pitfalls. You're not allowing your energy to get distracted or siphoned. You're not, because remember, as we awaken, there's tons of traps that are laid out to pull us back into a lower frequency, to pull us back into a lower vibration. So just notice where those traps are for you personally. And some of the stuff, it's like there might be day-to-day things that pull you back into a lower vibration. Just things that you deal with on a daily basis where your energy's up here and then you get frustrated, it brings you down. So it's like even when it comes to those things that you can anticipate, Spirit's saying, have a plan, have a way to get your energy back up. All right? Try to minimize that stuff as much as you can. And the things that you can't minimize, it's like, just know, okay, this is going to happen. There's going to be this back and forth. There's going to be this pull on my energy. Recognize that as just another opportunity for you to step into your mastery and find the ways that you're going to navigate with that. The ways that you're going to, it's like Spirit wants you to have a whole kit that you can reach into and pull things out of to bolster your vibration back up when these day-to-day annoyances bring it down, back down again. Anything else for what, for blessings or what Virgo doesn't see coming? Let's just leave this clear, open-ended. And Spirit wants me to close for you guys with a Sacred Rebels card too. So I'm just going to see if the Zodiac of the 108, if there's any more that wants to come out before we close with that Sacred Rebels card. Got the microphone. Some of you may be speaking, you may be sharing your thoughts, your words with the public on social media. This is also just finding your voice in general for those where you may have been struggling with that. Then we have the gavel, the spilled milk, the pearl, and the hot air balloon. One random thing that just popped up too was like, be aware of people who are just blowing hot air. So take that for who it's going to resonate for how it's going to resonate. All right. It's like a lot of people are speaking, but you know the difference between the people who just speak to hear themselves speak and the people who speak because they have something to say. And Spirit's saying for somebody, which one do you want to be? So this is a time period as we're becoming more conscious of the power of our words. Many of us start to speak less because we're being much more thoughtful of the words that we are choosing to speak and the power and the vibration, the energy that they carry. So that's just as a little aside there for somebody. Right. This is also Spirit saying, don't make mountains out of molehills. Don't create a problem where there is none. This might have to do with somebody in your life who tends to do this as well. But remember, everybody is a mirror or some aspect. I was thinking back on this in my own life, thinking about different connections in my life and some of the ways that I love and adore the connections in my life and some of the ways that they drive me nuts too, and looking at those ways and like what that trigger is. And for some of it, I was realizing that part of what the trigger is for me is there's an aspect of that energy that exists within me that I have to fully accept and love. And as soon as I accept and love that where that energy resides within me, that's going to shift. It's going to at least make it less triggering for me when this person exhibits this certain behavior, because I've healed that within me and I've accepted that part of myself. All right. So it's like you're going to have those opportunities as well to see where people are mirroring those things, right? Like going with this analogy, where is it that you make a bigger deal out of things than they really are? How can you accept and love that energy, that aspect of you, that tendency within you to do that? And like, don't let them, this is also a lesson in not letting people control your own mental well-being to dominate that. You know what I mean? Like their energy, say they're nervous and they're anxious and they're blowing something out of proportion. And so they keep talking about it to you and it makes you anxious and you're taking on that energy. It's like you're learning how to not take on those energies anymore. Spirit's also saying there's something that's completing or ending at this time. And it's time, like we said, letting go is one of the first cards that came out for you. It cannot be changed. There is a finality about a situation here, and there's nothing else to do except accept it and walk away, move on to what's next. Some of you, this is a relationship ending. This is like a literal decision, court decision or court ruling. And perhaps you feel like it's unfair. Spirit's saying it doesn't matter. One of the things that I had to learn early, and I learned it early in life, but I had to accept, was that life is not meant to be fair, right? It's not, this experience is not really designed to be fair, at least not in the terms. It is fair in the sense of like, it's all just our own karma repeating. Our own belief systems, our own karmic cycles that we're experiencing until we clear it. So in that way, it is fair, right? It's perfectly fair and just. That's what karma means, actually, is that justness, that fairness, that evenness. But at the same time, it's like the way that I think it should be fair, right? My version of fair is like everybody should have everything that they need. People should get along. You know, notice the should comes in there. Like in those ways, it's not, right? It's not designed to be that way. So, if there is a ruling, if there is a decision that's made and it is not in your favor, in your mind, the way that you perceive it to be in your favor, if you're having difficulty accepting it, if you're feeling like this isn't fair, right? The only thing to do here is to clear your own karma, take responsibility for your own energy in that situation and let it go. Let it be what it is. For somebody too, there's going to be like a ruling that's being made about something, a decision being made about something. And it's going to be mostly in your favor. There's going to be one or two little things that aren't. And you might have the urge to like really push it because you want everything to be where it feels 100% like your win, your victory here. Spirit's saying, let those one or two things go. That's when I talk about the energy of compromise. I always talk about this energy of like, it's when neither party really feels like they got everything that they wanted, but they got everything that they needed. And there's a solution that everybody can live with. More times than not, that's what compromise means. All right, so you may have to compromise a little bit here. If you got the most important things out of this, then if you have to give up a couple little things or there's a couple things that aren't exactly to your liking, like accept the offer, whatever it is. That's what I'm feeling here. You're going to know what I'm talking about if that message was for you. And then there's this beautiful energy of elevation and ascension with the hot air balloon as well. Rising above the subconscious mind and perceptions. Those hidden layers revealing themselves. And that ability to rise higher as a result. And that Cancer energy, this is all about that emotional realm. They got the Cancer and the Leo energy here. You also had Pisces and Sag with the spilled milk and the gavel. But this Cancer Leo energy, and of course, we have, they're both beautiful heart energies in their own right. Right? And we have actually, at the beginning of 2025, we have Mars in retrograde. Mars will be moving into Cancer. Mars began the retrograde in Leo. Mars actually might be in Cancer right now as I'm doing this reading. And I want to just see, okay, I have my notebook right here where I wrote down all of these transits. I want to see here. I also have the major events for your sign, Virgo, written in here as well. So we have Mars still retrograde, still in the sign of Leo, I believe. Or did Mars enter Cancer? Mars must have entered Cancer, actually, as I'm filming this. This is the second. I'm going to look this up, excuse me here, real quick on my app on my phone and just see where Mars. Oh, Mars is at 0 degrees of Leo today as I'm recording this reading for you guys. So Mars is about to move back into Cancer tomorrow. That makes sense, right? It was the 4th. It's been a while since I did the, I don't know why I don't have that written on here. Probably because I thought I would remember because I've talked about it so much, but it's just, the brain can only hold so much information, you guys. You got to keep updating it. You got to keep writing shit down. That's a message for somebody here too. All right. Make sure that you're setting alarms for yourself. Make sure that you have backups. Make sure that it's like Mercury retrograde kind of energy here right now, especially during the retrogrades I'm feeling for you guys. I know you and Gemini are always very affected by the Mercury retrogrades because you are the signs that Mercury rules. So something about backing up your work, backing up your data, making sure you set the number of alarms, making sure that you aren't just relying on your memory, because as we continue moving through this ascension, these energies are insane. These solar flares are wild. We're moving out of the linear mind. And so linear processing is changing. And yes, your intuition will oftentimes remind you, but when it comes to the 3D muggle things, it's not always going to do that. So make sure that you have a good organizational system. Virgo energy is generally famous for that, but we all have different things in our chart. So none of us are expressing these energies purely. So tap into that aspect of your nature. It is there, even if it doesn't always come through for you. So let's see what else we have here. Oh yeah, so when this video comes out, because it's going to be a couple days from when I record it, we're going to have Mars retrograde within Cancer. And that energy is going to go until the 23rd. That's when Mars stations direct at 17 degrees of Cancer. And then Mars starts moving forward again And so there's something with the end of that Mars retrograde I'm feeling with those Cancer and the Leo cards coming out, which is where this started from. So there's something being peeled back, some level, deeper level of wisdom within you, something that's opening up some hidden motivations. This Mars retrograde is teaching you something powerful about yourself. So pay attention to what that is. Some of you guys might want to go back and watch the Mars retrograde video that I did. There's a video. It should just be a few videos back. I'll link it at the end of this one as well for you guys. So Mars retrograde, all the energies that we're working through when it comes to validation, when it comes to the heart and the opening of the heart, embracing that heart energy. Then we have the full moon in Leo on the 12th of February. So that's going to be a big day as well. And we're going to have Neptune conjunct the North Node at 28 degrees of Pisces. This is right after the shift on 1/11, when the South Node enters Virgo on the 11th. And then that Neptune conjunction in Pisces with the North Node is, of course, going to be opposing the South Node in Virgo. So you guys are going to be feeling that really strongly as well. That's going to be a real, just write that date down. 1/11, 2/7, 2/12. 2/12 is where we have that full moon in Leo, that I'm feeling that Mars retrograde, right? Those dates down as well. The 23rd is when Mars stations direct in the sign of Cancer. And Mars won't move back to, I think it was 6 degrees of Leo. Don't quote me on the degree. Won't move back to the same degree of Leo that he began the retrograde at until I believe it's the 23rd of, or the 1st of May. Let me see here. Sometime in May. I think it is May 1st. I didn't write that down in here. But yeah, I believe it's May 1st. Let's see what else we have that's going to be. Yeah, Mars will re-enter Leo on the 18th of April. And then I think it's the 1st. When he gets back and completes that shadow period. We also have important dates for you this year. Let's see. Mars is going to be entering your sign on the 17th, so June 17th. That's going to be a powerful time for you. And Mars is going to be in your sign from June 17th until August 6th. So right before the Lion's Gate, Mars is going to move into Libra. Anything else specifically? And then, of course, your solar return on the 22nd of August. The sun will enter your sign. There'll be a new moon in your sign the day after the sun enters. So on the 23rd of August, Mercury is going to enter your sign on the 2nd of September. That's going to be one of those times where you might want to make sure that you are backing up your work. And you're going to have a partial solar eclipse in your sign. At 29 degrees, the anerotic degree of Virgo, that's going to be on the 21st of September. That's going to be a big date for you guys. Venus is going to enter your sign on the 19th, so just a couple days before that solar eclipse. And the lunar eclipse in Pisces, that's going to be powerful for you as well, being that Pisces is your opposing energy. And that will be involving the sun. Lunar eclipses are always full moons, right? So Pisces, the sun's going to be, of course, in your sign opposite the moon in Pisces for that. So the 7th of September, 21st of September, your season this year, your birthday, your solar return season is going to be intense in 2025. So prepare for it now. Well, you'll be preparing for it. I think it's going to be intense, but I feel like that's when you're going to be having some of the biggest breakthroughs. Something that around all the energies that we read for today. Whatever was the most impactful, felt like it was going to be the most impactful for you, that's going to be where the biggest breakthrough comes for you. It's going to be something you've been working on for a very long time. You finally have that click. It clicks. That moment of clarity necessary. That illumination necessary. And of course, we're going to talk more about all these energies as they come through the upcoming year. I'm doing a lot of live streams talking about the astrological energies and a lot more of the videos doing the tarot. So make sure you're tuning in for the live streams. Wednesdays, at this point, they are Wednesdays at 2 o'clock, generally speaking. That may shift. If it does, it's always in the community tab. But we're doing weekly live streams at this time. And trying as much as we can to get them consistent on the consistent days. Consistency might be something that you are working with as well, Virgo. And then we had the mirror, the self-awareness. The level of self-awareness that you're going to gain this year, Virgo, is absolutely insane. Yeah, and some of you guys, there's the way that you're stepping into your own power, your own mental power. It's just like the blessings coming through for you. Just as a result of that, it's like you're going to see the biggest blessing, the biggest flex for you this year, Virgo, is you seeing that you are the master of your reality. And you don't necessarily need blessings because you bless yourself with everything that you desire through your energy, through your vibration, through your your mindset, and through your heart. All right. You are the blessing. You are the creator. You are the magician. Clear. That is freaking powerful. All right. And then we got the springtime, so big breakthrough. I'm feeling big breakthroughs for all my signs this springtime. Springtime is going to be intense for you as well as it is for Pisces, because there's a ton of energy in Pisces in the springtime. That's when Neptune shifts out of Pisces into Aries. That's when we have a huge stellium of planets as that swap is happening and Neptune is moving into Aries. And there's a whole lot of stuff going on. We got a stellium in Aries and Pisces during that springtime around that equinox. It's going to be wild. So that is definitely going to affect you, being that Pisces is your opposing sign. You're going to be feeling that. You're going to be getting some major hits of that energy. Secondhand smoke for some reason. When I said major hits of that energy, I just heard that in my mind. I don't know. That to me makes me think of Sublime. Secondhand Smoke is my favorite Sublime album. 40 Ounce to Freedom's a close, but something about Secondhand Smoke. I really love that album. I don't know what that relates to, the energy of Secondhand Smoke. That might be specific just for anybody who's finding this. If that relates to you, you're going to know what that means and why I just heard it like that. But that's kind of what it's like. And remember, they say secondhand smoke is more deadly than firsthand smoke, right? So that might also just be alluding to the fact that like my Virgos are going to get hit more than my Pisces in some ways with some of these energies that are going on in Pisces with that oppositional energy there. All right. I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please hit that like button. If you're still watching this, go ahead and subscribe. You are definitely part of the tribe. If you want to work one-on-one with me, there's tons of information on how to do so in the description box below. Go to my website, check it out. All the different services I offer. Just shoot me an email. We are infinite@bodyworkbykassia.com. What else here? If you know somebody who is also a Virgo that would benefit from this reading, or even if they're not, but you just feel like they would benefit, go ahead and share it. There's a lot of weird stuff with, like, I'm not even going to get into it. We're not even going to give it the mind space, but we'll just say the most powerful way for these videos to get out to people is when people share them person to person. So if you feel called to do that, please do. I love you. I honor you. I respect you infinitely. And I will talk to you soon, Virgo.